Real quick, before we get into the goodness, make sure you hit that subscribe button. That way you're notified to every time we upload a video. Appreciate you. Previously, wow, that started off like a sitcom, didn't it? Or a drama show. Previously on Free Mind Thinkers, I mentioned the phrase, take the emotion out of it, which is a phrase made popular by sports analyst, sports commentator Colin Cowherd, formerly of ESPN, now working on Fox Sports 1. He used that phrase to help people see the truth, particularly when it came to the world of sports. People often get blinded by their favorite team, become irrational, emotional, and illogical. You say something negative about their team, and they just can't handle it without actually taking the emotion out of it and seeing if what is being said is accurate. What I thought I'd do at this time is really expound upon that. Because it's not the fact that I don't like negative comments. No, that's not it at all. Actually, negative comments will make me re-examine myself and take a closer look to see if I'm doing anything wrong, how to improve. But when the commentary is coming from a place of illogic, it lets me know that it's emotional. Now, here is one that you can take with you, all those that are listening. The first victim of emotion is logic. I'll tell you again. The first victim of emotion is logic. That's why people, particularly women, stay in abusive relationships. That's why some people, particularly men, will marry a woman without any true wife qualifications. They fell in love with a pretty face and some good sex. So you see why the first victim of emotion is logic. That's where take the emotion out of it probably came from with Colin Cowherd, because I learned that in my life personally. I was just never able to phrase it in such a understandable way until I heard Colin say his. Because emotion makes you see things and do things through a skewed lens. I have often been called emotionless, robotic. And it's not that I don't have emotions. It's not that I don't feel love. Hell, for the right woman, I can be a damn right hopeless romantic. But when it comes to making the hard decisions, the difficult choices, I have to take emotion out of it. That also can be applied to text messaging and reading the written word, particularly when it comes to social media like Facebook and X, formerly known as Twitter. How many times have we read something and put our own connotation into what we're reading when that isn't what the writer meant? I can tell you from experience, both positive and negative, that it is often, very, very often, that we put our own emotions and thoughts into the written word rather than what that person says. If you know the person that's writing it, then you know if they're being cynical, sarcastic, smart-mouthy, just being glib, hyperbolic, that type of thing. But the majority of the time, we project our own emotion into what someone is writing, texting, typing. If we are upset or in any other emotion, any other negative emotion, and we say something, we text something, we put something out there, then often we're going to read back in that same emotion. You put something bland out there, you're angry, you put a post out there, and when someone responds to it, then you hear it as combative. You hear it in a negative way. That's just the human nature of things. That is that emotion. And it is a lot safer to take the emotion out of it, read it for what it is, see it for what it is, and then respond properly. I got a lot of pushback on the post I did talking about the writer's strike. And I never take it personal. I never get personal in responding to those type of comments. I will either ignore or I will ask a person to expound upon how they feel or to be more accurate about what they say. And when you have a person do that, you will learn very rapidly that what they say has very little to do with you. It's them. The majority of the time, in the situation I'm speaking of, dealing with negative responses, it's not me, it's you. It's how you took it. It's how you feel about it. I briefly mentioned before now, and I'll kind of go back to this here, that I'm cool with it. In the post, or to be more accurate, in the video I'm referring to, on the writer's strike, I had a couple of people come at me and call me ignorant and dumb and blah, blah, blah. And when I asked them to expound upon it, it came down to, oh, they're emotional. Got it. Which really, I guess you could say this might be a very crass and hard way to be. But once I see it's an emotion-based argument, I leave it alone. Because I believe that an argument has to be based in a logical foundation. I don't argue feelings. I can't tell you how you feel. You can't tell me how I feel. But oftentimes, just because I may feel a particular way about something doesn't make that particular thing wrong. I just may not like it. It may not be my preference. Emotions about something are very much like food taste. Some people can't stand sushi, others love it. Some people can't stand Tex-Mex, other people love it. It's not that a person is wrong for feeling a particular way. How they feel is how they feel. So when people have come at me in a negative way, when I make a video about something that they don't agree with, I usually respond with, after I hear how they feel that I did something wrong, I respond with, so if I did a video supporting your point, would I still be ignorant? Because my source of information, my level of knowledge on that particular subject wouldn't have changed. It would have been leaning more towards your liking. So if I agree with you, I'm brilliant. But if I don't, I'm ignorant. Yet the level of information and knowledge has not changed either way. You see how that works? That's because it was an emotional comment. I follow other YouTubers, not many, but some. And when I leave I guess you can call a negative comment, I simply call them critiques because they're never personal. And I actually give the exact reason why I did not like something that was said. I would say, hey, I didn't like this because you did this, you generalized this, and it makes it look like this. It's never emotional. It's, yeah, what a bad take. And I keep it pushing. Oh, I know I've had some horrible takes in the eyes of others on here, even those that follow me, even my subscribers. Oh, I know there is no possible way I can create a video every time that you will agree with. But that's the beauty of life and the heart of free mind thinkers. It is something to make you think, not necessarily to change your view or your thoughts or change your mind, but just to give you a different perspective. That's all. So when you hear something that you don't like, when you read something that has you feeling a particular way, take the emotion out of it. See if what is being said or told or written, see if it's accurate. And even if it isn't, address it. Don't go flying off the handle, name calling, trying to sound high and mighty, and it doesn't work. So calm down, take a breath, step back, and take the emotion out of it. Hey, I hope you have enjoyed that YouTube exclusive video. That is a small segment from our podcast, Free Mind Thinkers, which can be found on all places that you may download your favorite podcast, including iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and any place else you choose to download your podcast. If you want to see Rumble exclusive videos, you can check us out over there where you have exclusive content from the shows as well. Until the next time, remember to stand up, stand out, think differently.